Hi guys, and welcome back to Crypto Chester. I'm here today to bring you a cryptocurrency update. We're going to be breaking down Bitcoin. We're going to be doing a Bitcoin breakdown. Then we're going to be doing Altcoin Assessment. I just realized I haven't turned my lights on, so just bear with me 1 second. Altcoin Assessment. We're going to be doing a bit of Shitcoin Showdown, where we go through on DEX tools and look at some shitcoins that we could potentially be trading today. And then after that, we're going to go through onto trading tip of the day. This is where I basically give you guys a trading tip to take away with you. And we're going to be doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon, UTC +7. So I think that's like 6 a.m. in the UK, wherever you're watching from. If that's a point of reference for you if you are from the UK. But yeah, that's going to be how the show is going to be running. If you are new to it, guys, we're basically just going to be going through some good stuff there. And if you've got any questions, any requests, make sure you put them in the chat. I've got the multi-stream set up, so we're streaming on multiple platforms now, and I've got a chat set up, so it's all linked. So if you're chatting on TikTok, if you're chatting on YouTube, not quite on Instagram or Facebook just yet. Few things to sort out there, but Kick, Twitch, any of these other platforms, if you are talking on there, I will be able to see it all in my lovely chat box on the left. Okay, so that is it for the intro. Without further ado, let's get straight into a lovely, juicy Bitcoin update. As you can see, we're starting off with a Bitcoin breakdown today because obviously Bitcoin is the alpha. It's the big dog. It's the whale in the crypto space that essentially, with the Bitcoin dominance being so high, controls a lot of the price action for trading cryptocurrency in general. Okay, so that's why we do a very strong Bitcoin breakdown to start off the stream. Now, let's flash back to, say, 2-3 months ago, where we hit all-time high here for Bitcoin, up at around, it was around 74,000, we'll say for simplicity's sake, 74,000. Once we hit that all-time high, we were actually discussing the fact of essentially the ranging period that we could be entering into. Okay, and the range that we were discussing was a range between the all-time high and basically coming down to this area around 58.9. Yes, we did break that, setting a new pullback low back on the 1st of May, down at around 56.7, and that is our unconfirmed higher low market structure point, which we are going to be using as a reference point here, okay? So I was meant to start on the midterm, so unfortunately I've started on the macro. So we'll do the macro and then we'll do the midterm and look at a potential trade for today for Bitcoin, okay? And mic check, just make sure you can all hear me wherever you're watching from. Let me know in the chat. And I see Mr. Miles saying, "Hey people," over on YouTube. Nice to see you on the stream there, Mr. Miles. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I literally just got out of the swimming pool, so apologies if I'm a bit wet and look a bit flustered. Yeah, I did Muay Thai this morning and then went for a swim, and yeah, pretty tired, but it's all good. We're here to set up the charts for the day and break this down together. So yeah, let's carry on with this and get sort of a bias on Bitcoin, because that is essentially why we're all here, okay? So I'm talking about the macro here for Bitcoin right now. It's a very important point where we are at, right? If we zoom out and jump to the weekly chart here, guys, we can see an absolute shambles of a mess. No, it's yeah, it's obviously pretty messy. Just give me a sec. Let me sort this out for you guys. So it's not as intrusive for your eyes. So as you can see, we do have an upward sloping parallel channel here. Very strong trend here on the macro. These are the higher lows that have been currently confirmed for the market structure for Bitcoin at around 38.8. As I said, 56.6 is the most recent unconfirmed higher low at this point in time. If we break all-time highs, guys, that will be confirmed, and that is going to be the bullish market structure point for us to be looking out for. Now, what do we know about that? We know it's a very strong level of support. If we lose that, then we could actually see $38,000 is the next target to the lower side. But remember, even if we do lose that, guys, and we do come down quite aggressively, even down to this 48, 49 sort of area, even in this sort of pocket here, if we get down to that, it's absolutely fine. Unfortunately, yes, your altcoins will be bleeding like a gazelle that's been taken down by a lion or something, but it will still be a bullish market structure for Bitcoin here on the macro, and it will be a bullish market structure until we lose 38.6. So as long as we don't lose 38.6, then we're still in this lovely bull market, and the cycle is still strong. I mean, guys, look, we went from $25,000 up to all-time high for a 200% move essentially on Bitcoin. So a little pullback here. I mean, we've only pulled back like on the average 23% right now, and the average is 21% for this cycle. But a pullback of say 40% down to this sort of down to this level of support on this upward sloping parallel channel here, down to around 46,000. I know it's not favorable. I know it's not bullish, and I know you guys love it when everyone's bullish. But a 40% retracement after a 200% move is still healthy. It's still a healthy uptrend, guys. So let's just zoom in a bit here on the macro, and let's go through some scenarios here if we are to actually dump down here. Okay, I know it's not favorable, but we do need to weigh this up because we can make some goddamn money doing it. Okay, we can basically short the hell out of this market when we do lose certain levels here. Okay, and the levels that I'm referring to are, of course, 56. We do have a very important level of the just referencing the range that we have been talking about for months here, and that is going to be this point here, guys, around 60,800. I would expect a bounce there. Okay, I would expect there. just Mr. Miles, just see lizard people in the chat. I'm like, what is he put? Always tries to troll me, that guy. But yeah, this is the point that I would be using as a reference point for a level of support here at around 60,800. You can see this juicy, lovely bull market barrier is coming up as well, guys. And we have tested that 1, 2. We're on the third test here. Usually when we test this multiple times, it's basically a higher chance of this breaking. And this is why we are currently seeing bearish candle body closes inside of this lovely bull market barrier here. Okay, the fact that it's turned yellow is bearish, and it's not looking great. Now, with that being said, guys, we need to really take into consideration the fact that we have been dumping for what, three weeks now, 2-3 weeks now. It's been a bloody time. Okay, in terms of bearish candles, we've had 2 very strong bearish candles to the downside here for Bitcoin. So if we are just measuring that as a point of reference, why is price range coming up now? If we're just measuring that as a point of reference, we need to be vigilant here for micro bearish market structure. And what I mean by that is a 10% move to the downside without sort of a significant micro lower high. Yep, lower high coming up and being set there. It's not healthy. Okay, it's not healthy, and usually we will see retracement coming back from that. And what I mean by that, guys, if we do dump down aggressively, because obviously we know how Bitcoin has been nuking recently, if we dump down aggressively to this level at this central point of the bull market barrier here, then it's I'm quite inclined to long this. I'm quite inclined to long this point here, just on the basis that we've got the bull market barrier, we've got a lovely, lovely level of support. Just referencing the range here, guys, you can see these areas here have been used multiple times here for support, and the momentum from this zone, then it's not small, guys. It's not small moves here. 16-17%, and the reason why I would be inclined to get involved with that is because we haven't tested that since the 11th of May here, and the trend is, it's not really a very valid micro trend. It's just been dumping. Okay, so we need a pullback at some point, and this basically makes this a valid pullback zone for reference. Okay, so yeah, in terms of how big the move could be, just referencing the momentum that we were just talking about here in this zone, it's I would be looking at a nice safe point here. You can see the first time that we did see this move, it was around a 5% move to the upside. That's probably a safe bet here. I know there is bigger moves here and it is juicier, but yeah, a 5% move here isn't out of the question in my opinion from this lovely, lovely area. Now, I would like to get in some Fibonacci here, but in order to do that, I'm going to be jumping down to the midterm time frame, the 4 hour, and we're going to be looking at Fibonacci levels and see if they correlate here with this potential long zone at around 60,900. Okay. Let's jump down to the midterm. Let's have a look at the chat actually quickly, because yeah, it's a new chat. So we've got Veg Food Lover. Hey, how are you doing? Nice to see you on the stream there. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Yeah, I'm all good. A little bit flustered because I was training Muay Thai, like kickboxing this morning, and then I went for a swim and looked at my watch. I was like, oh god damn, it's like 11:30. I got a stream at 12, so better get ready. So yeah, got out the pool and just kind of ran to the PC, set everything up, and yeah, it's a little bit flustered, but all good on my side. Hope you're well yourself. And Mr. Miles says, "Did the lizard people send you? Remove your skin mask." Interesting. And we've got Sanjivan as well, basically saying, "Hey, can you check PNG chart?" I guess that's a meme coin. Flustered and swimming. Flustered from swimming and working out, a likely excuse. Yeah, a likely excuse, Lizard Chester. Interesting. Maybe I'll change the channel name, Lizard Chester Crypto or something. Good stuff. But yeah, I'll have a look at PNG. I guess that is a meme coin because I haven't heard of it from sort of an established altcoin perspective here. But yeah, we can break that down, I'm sure, when we get through to the altcoin assessment part of the show there. But yeah, let's do the micro. Let's look at oh no, it's not. Sanjivan says no. So yeah, maybe I'll have a look on altcoin assessment. We'll have a little search for PNG there and break that down together. Pangolin, okay. We got Alex coming through saying, great analysis. Do you think the dump to 56k will be quick or take a couple of weeks here? I think it's going to be super quick, man. I do think it's going to be super quick, and that's why I'm inclined to get into a long here. The fact that we have been trailing down here for roughly around 2 weeks here is worrying. Okay, it's worrying. And if you look at the ETF figures, the ETF figures, basically what has been happening, institutions have actually been selling their Bitcoin literally by the day. They're starting to sell their Bitcoin, which is a bearish factor here. And usually over the summer, sort of Western summer period, usually we do see bearish momentum coming through for Bitcoin. And the fact that we have seen like a 200% move from 25k all the way up to the all-time high at around 74, like a 40% retracement down to 50. 40%? Is it 40%? Let's have a little look. 23% retracement to 56 isn't out of the question. But again, a 40% retracement, as we were just discussing, down to around 44 still isn't out of the question either. If we lose this bull market barrier, then I would expect probably a new range to be created around this sort of area here for Bitcoin, basically dropping down out of this range here and sort of trading in this point here for a while. I don't think we'll lose 46. I don't think we're going to be losing this trend line that we have got here, because you can see the support is crazy. Obviously, we've got a lot of new money into the crypto space, into Bitcoin over the last sort of 6 months or so. So it's very unlikely that we see us lose these levels. And the reasoning for that is, guys, is because a lot of people throughout this whole massive move to the upside here, they're actually waiting for an entry. They're waiting for an entry for Bitcoin. And that is why we've been ranging in this sort of area for a while. It's only recently that the ETF bearish figures have sort of come to light. And that is why we are seeing a bit of a trickle down in the price here, because the confidence isn't as strong as it once was here for Bitcoin in these sorts of areas. And that's why these buying up periods have been really super strong, because we've had institutions basically waiting to buy up these zones. And the fact that these figures have now been released and sorry, not released, but come to light, that is sort of negative now. People are sort of under the impression that they can actually wait, hold back, and get a better price for Bitcoin, which is completely understandable. And that's why these levels are going to be super good for some sort of micro long positions, in my opinion. Just going to sip the tea. I think it looks pretty hot, so hopefully it's not going to burn me. We all good. Good stuff. And it is a very trappy market at the moment. It's a trappy market at the moment here for Bitcoin. Obviously, yesterday we saw some really nice bullish price action, and there was talks in the space of a breakout scenario. What I mean by that is basically a falling parallel channel. They tend to usually break to the upside. As you can see, there was a 3.23% move on the cards here for Bitcoin, but we were sat there here looking at this dirty, disgusting volume-weighted ATR band here. Just going to get rid of that. The volume-weighted ATR band on the 15-minute, super valid point of confluence here. And as you can see, rejected in line with the trend line again here, guys. And this basically happens. It's a really good sort of system here for using in terms of like a reference point. if we're using other levels of support in confluence with the 15-minute. The strategy works really well in itself, and you can see here that we did actually see this play out again yesterday. And after seeing this was quite fast. It was really strong bullish momentum. I was super happy with it. And then obviously we saw a massive dump to the downside here, just basically referencing that 15-minute as well. And I did get involved with some nice shorts here. I was shorting Jasmy. Made a decent bag on that yesterday. That was super nice. Just referencing Bitcoin because I thought Bitcoin was going to have a nice little pullback here. What do you know? It did, referencing a lot of the TA here. And yeah, it was super nice to see some altcoins generating some good money from some short positions, because altcoins, they got slammed yesterday after the Bitcoin pump. So especially Jasmy, right? That's down like 4% today as well. So yeah, let's talk about Quantum Insight. Let's talk about the price of where Bitcoin is now, and then we're going to be jumping through to some altcoin assessment, guys. But I want to get sort of an idea of what we think Bitcoin could be doing today, using some indicators, using Fibonacci, using some really strong technical analysis data here. And then once we're done with that, then we can actually get a bias for some altcoins and potentially get some trades on the line today for us to be looking out for, okay? So let's talk Quantum Insight, and then let's talk a automatic Fibonacci retracement, which I don't have on this chart. That's not good. I think I have it on the shorter term time frame here. Don't have it there as well. Great stuff. Good stuff, bro. Okay, that's not ideal. Maybe I have it in my favorites. Automatic Fib retracement. There she is. Bring her up. Not the normal indicator I use, but we can use it, I guess. Yeah, it's not great. I was hoping for more of a Fibonacci retracement move. We'll just have to draw it in manually, right? So let's just draw it in manually. Not delete other indicators, Chester. Come on, bro. I'm going to get rid of the volume weighted ATR bands for a second, though. Right, chart is sorted out. Let's do some Fibonacci retracements, and let's look at some key areas. So we're going to take the high here, guys, and then we're going to be bringing that down to the current swing low here for Fibonacci. And in terms of a level that we did test yesterday, again, was a 0.236 as a reference point as well. So the moment we lost this was a sort of the confirmation for us to be having that initial juicy pullback. Okay, so yeah, just gonna get rid of that for a second, and now let's talk Quantum Insight and potential areas where we could see Bitcoin heading down today. Okay, so Bitcoin is looking quite bearish right now. We're seeing macro bearish candle body closes continuously. I think 4 days in a row now. Well, no, 5 days in a row if we see this candle close bearish. The point I'm looking out for today here on the micro time frames is going to be around 64.1. Okay, this point is definitely an area for support that we have seen. We've obviously got the 15-minute volume weighted ATR band currently acting as support. Haven't quite tested that just yet. We are looking for potentially a long-legged doji star candle, right? In terms of a candlestick chart pan, that does actually mean indecisive direction. Okay, so that could mean we could have a bit of a move to the upside here, a reversal potential scenario coming through. Very micro here, but it could mean that Bitcoin could be sending up for around 1% to around 65,186. And to be fair, I don't think that's out of the question at all. Bouncing off the Fibonacci, bouncing off this level of support. If we're doing momentum from this zone, let's have a little look. Yeah, you've got 2%, 2.2% there, guys. So it's very likely to see Bitcoin do half of that, around a 1% move up to around $65,000. Okay, so that's what I would be looking for today, just talking momentum and volume weighted ATR bands. Again, lovely buy point coming through for this falling channel. And in reference to the 60-minute volume weighted ATR band here, this is going to be the buy zone around 63.6. Lovely potential move there to the upside. And what we're going to be doing here for Bitcoin is playing the bounce, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, we're going to be waiting for this low to get broke, okay? We're going to break this low, very likely us breaking this low and having a continuation of this trend. And then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be capitalizing on the move back up to the upside like so, right? So what I'm talking about here is we break the low in terms of support, we come down, we test the volume weighted ATR band on the 60-minute, potentially even wick down to this level here, and then we're going to be patiently waiting, finger on the trigger scenario here, and then we're going to be longing Bitcoin when we reclaim the 60-minute volume weighted ATR band after testing this lovely level of support here. And potentially the move could be quite nice here to the upside. So let me just draw that into the chart of what we think could potentially be happening. Maybe not dump that aggressively, but yeah, maybe something along the lines of that. And then this is the move that we're going to be capitalizing on later today here on the 4 hour, or potentially tomorrow or over the weekend here, depending on how Bitcoin does react here. So yeah, that would be Bitcoin overall. Quantum Insight, let's have a little look where we're at for that point. You can see stochastic is heading down quite rapidly here, and you can see that a potential crossover is likely. When we do see these crossovers, guys, we tend to usually see a bit of bullish momentum coming through. So that's definitely a point of confluence that we can be referencing today. And then next on the list is momentum for Bitcoin. Okay, so you can see the momentum is actually pretty undecided right now on the 4 hour. And what I mean by that, usually, guys, if we flash back in history like so, we can see that this is a typical scenario of momentum low, a pullback, and then a new momentum low, but not breaking previous low, and basically finding momentum structure. And this is a really, really good point of reference here. When we see momentum structure get formed here, we can actually use it as a reference point. So if we do flash back to this price here, let's have a little look, see how this played out. This should be a really bullish move here, like from this stochastic crossover, momentum reversal there, and would potentially be, as you can see, lining that up, a nice big bullish move to the upside. Nothing too crazy, but 67.6 up to around 67.9, near enough 68 there. So that's sort of what we're looking for there for the Quantum Insight. But you can see most recently it's not been that reliable. Okay, obviously we've got lows, we've got a new low market structure point there for the momentum, and you can see just about tickling that level of support again. So it basically does show that the momentum is slowly dying to the downside, but it's not that strong. Okay, it's not that strong in terms of a reversal, is what we're sort of alluding to here. So what I would be looking for Bitcoin today is potentially if we hold this level of support in terms of momentum here, we get another AI arrow coming down, we get stochastic coming down to this sort of level as well, then there is going to be a nice bounce point coming through. That's what the Quantum Insight is telling us today. And if we are using the reference point of the chart here in confluence with this point here, guys, it's quite likely that the TA that we were discussing prior to bringing up the Quantum Insight is likely to play out. Okay, so what we're talking about is downside for the momentum, bringing the price of Bitcoin down, and that is I mean, it's looking like we're probably going to bounce off the 60-minute volume weighted ATR band at this buy level rather than coming down and testing 62.8. So yeah, that would be a nice long point for a point of reference there. Let's have a look at previous levels of support from this area, and let's get a reference point. So you can see we do have support there, support there, support there, and there's filthy, disgusting wicks here. But this is sort of the range here that sort of does get played around with for Bitcoin, just going back in history here. So it does look quite choppy, but in terms of being realistic with take profits and a wider swing for this potential long position for Bitcoin today, or potentially tomorrow here, then I would be inclined for a nice simple move here for Bitcoin, basically coming up for around 1%. I wouldn't be, as you can see, like looking back on this area, guys, we do have quite big swings around that range. Okay, so we need to be vigilant for that, not over leverage ourselves here, and really watch ourselves here, because this area can be quite choppy. It's a sort of a range on average of around a 3.7. 3.8% there for us to be using as a reference point. So if we are looking for a 1% move, very likely here, while that 3% sort of area is sort of flirting with us, essentially. So yeah, it's going to be something along the lines of that. But again, this would be the move that we would be capitalizing on, that lovely 1%. So in summary, for Bitcoin, for the Bitcoin breakdown today, downside, break-in lows of 64.1 is super likely. We might have a micro move to the upside here if we get a bullish hammer stick candle, bullish hammer candlestick chart pattern at around in 2 hours and 30 minutes time. then we could see a nice 1% move up, but I would see downside to follow after that. Okay, extending this trend line as well. We're back in this disgusting descending parallel channel, so I would expect downside continuation of the trend. We're setting new potentially new micro lower highs here as well, but again, playing on that 1% bounce is super profitable and likely there. So yeah, that's Bitcoin breakdown today, guys. Good stuff. Let me know what you think in the live chat. And we're going to jump over to Altcoin Assessment now. And this is where we basically break down some altcoins together live on stream. Ooh. So starting off on Altcoin Assessment, I'm going to sip the tea and I'm going to read a bit of the chat. And then we're going to be jumping through to some lovely, some lovely altcoins today. It's a good tea, man. It's my favorite at the moment. Ginger, raspberry, and blackberry, and loads of other good vitamins. That's the good stuff, man. Hopefully I'm not ASMRing the microphone, just listening to me drink tea, right? Yeah, guys, if you are new to the stream, we are streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, noon, UTC +7, cross-platform. We're on TikTok, we're on Kick, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. Yet to be on Instagram and Facebook. A couple of little problems there, but we're getting there very slowly, and hopefully we will get there. So just reading the chat before we go into this altcoin assessment. As you can see, we will be starting on Ethereum today, okay? Because some interesting stuff has been released about the SEC case on Ethereum. But yeah, let's read the chat, and we will get back to Ethereum. So we've got Veg Food Lover loves a bit of Gary Network, so potentially we could look at that. I mean, it's not a favorable coin in my opinion. The chart is never favorable, but we can have a little look. And Sanjivan says it's a decentralized exchange coin. Okay, so that is the PNG. So that would be in the what's it called? Shitcoin Showdown. That's what it called. That will be in the next section of the show. So we will look at PNG for you there, Sanjivan. And let's have a little look. What are we looking at here? We've got oh, there's the T. Never mind. You're the real Chester after all. Yeah, AI is getting pretty good, man. Can you look at VAR, says FOMO Sapien. Yeah, I will look at VAR for you. We'll actually break that down and do a little video for the channel on that today. Just touching on Ethereum, guys. And if you guys do want to say hello, you can in the chat. Whatever platform, guys, I will see it. I've got it all programmed to see all the things now. So, it's a DEX coin, so worse than a meme coin, says Mr. Miles. I mean, potentially, yeah, we can see some pretty big gainers here for some decentralized exchange coins, but yeah, a lot of them do rug, right? So yeah, got to be careful out there. But yeah, let's break down Ethereum quickly, because this is very interesting, right? Because the SEC were investigating Ethereum for potentially being a security, okay? And I think 2 days ago now, on the 19th of June, yeah, the 19th of June, they actually, wait, are we July? Are we July? No, we're June. Losing months here. Yeah, so the 19th of June, the SEC actually dropped their case on Ethereum, labeling it that it wasn't a security, which is super bullish for Ethereum. And remember, guys, Ethereum ETF has just passed, right? So what does that tell us? It tells us that institutions and hedge funds and all the big dogs in the space here, in the financial space here, they actually were reluctant to invest into Ethereum because of the SEC investigating whether it was a security. Now, that has been dropped. 2 days ago, that was dropped. So now, basically, the floodgates are open for Ethereum for some potential big investments, okay? So we're talking hedge funds, institutions. We're talking billions of dollars potentially to flow into Ethereum. Look what happened to Bitcoin, guys. We went from 38K to all-time highs pretty much in literally a couple of weeks, right? It was absolutely crazy stuff. And the same sort of scenario from an institutional level could be happening with Ethereum. Now the SEC has taken the knee. Now the SEC has taken the knee, essentially. So yeah, just wanted to update you guys on that, because super bullish. If you are a Ethereum supporter and holder, I'm super bullish for the next couple of weeks, couple of months here for Ethereum, and I do expect us to see a lovely breakout scenario, okay? So let's break this down together, because Ethereum is looking pretty goddamn juicy for a move to the upside, okay? So as you can see, we're working with a symmetrical triangle chart pattern. Symmetrical triangle chart patterns, guys, they tend to usually break either way, right? No, they do break either way, but if it is at the top of an uptrend like it is so, it actually becomes a bullish pennant chart pattern, and that essentially means it's a continuation chart pattern, and that basically means it's a continuation, so it continues to the upside. Ideally, not every time, 1 in 3 times it happens, but it's definitely a point of data and a point of reference that we can be using here. So, bullish pennant chart pattern, top of an uptrend, breakout scenario. This is going to be the measure move here, as you can see. This is the previous level of support inside of this chart pattern to the top side area of resistance. We take that area, we drag it over to the potential break point. This could be anywhere along this line, guys. So in terms of a direct price prediction for this right now, pretty hard, as we don't know where we're going to be breaking here. I would probably estimate within the next couple of weeks or so. So if we are going to be using this as a daily, we can be using probably around this area as a point. Now, how much is this worth, you ask? Well, you can see it on the screen. 34.8% to the upside is what we're potentially looking out for there for a move for Ethereum, bringing Ethereum up to around $5,200. What do you think of that? Super bullish, okay? Super strong. There's good information about this regarding the SEC, regarding the ETF. And yeah, I'm super bullish on Ethereum. I obviously own Ethereum, right? It's part of my portfolio. But in terms of an intraday sort of trading scenario and a setup for this, I would be waiting patiently, okay? It's a patient wait here. You can, if you want to, blindly get in, because you can do what you want, because I'm not a financial advisor. What I'm going to be doing here is waiting for this area to actually be cleared here. The area that I'm talking around is going to be around 3,800. This is sort of the area for reference here. As you can see, we have had quite a lot of resistance here previously, guys. We tested this area. It was a pretty choppy sort of zone here. So what I would really be looking out for there is Ethereum to actually break this area, break this top side of this bullish pennant chart pattern, and then we can see potentially the move to the upside come into fruition. Now, jumping over to the weekly here for Ethereum, I do want to be lining up potential TPs here, because you know the score, guys. We know how heavily manipulated cryptocurrency is. So when we're dealing with measure moves, when we're dealing with breakout scenarios, what do? We get as much data as possible, and we set 4 take profits. Okay, we set 4 take profits at the relevant resistance and support points that we have seen in previous price action at those levels. Okay, and if you haven't seen those levels before, if you're hitting in all-time high territory, then it's probably easy just to split it up 25%. In a nice symmetrical sort of way, just to be safe, right? You never want to just blindly having a TP there and a stop loss down there and letting the trade run, right? Because if you were to be up a significant amount in this sort of area here, and then you're like, oh, I'm up loads of percent, like I'm up 13% or something like that, right? Yeah, 13-14% there, and it's amazing and whatever. I'm gonna wait until I hit my TP. Nope. That's the wrong choice. What you should be doing here, because usually these only play out 1 in 3 times, guys. Okay, 1 in 3 times this plays out. So what you should be doing here is essentially, once you hit your first take profit, which in this instant would be $4,000 here from the required entry point around 3,800. So at this point in time, your first TP is up for around 4%. Okay, first TP is hit. Well done. You've made 4%. But you've made 4% on 25% of your investment. Now, with the rest of the investment, what you do, you leave it in. You leave it in and you let it run, baby. Hopefully it runs and it runs to the top, and yeah, you can hit all your TPs along the way. But what you do with your stop loss, you take your stop loss and you move it to your entry point. Okay, and that puts you in a risk-free trade. A risk-free trade. You can put your arms up. You can open up the sun lounger on the beach, wherever you want to do it. And you can basically sit there and relax. And you're in a risk-free trade. You're not losing anything. You've already taken 4% on 25% of your equity. You're chilling. You're chilling. It's a risk-free position. And the goal for this is to not adhere to the manipulation of cryptocurrency and manipulation of price action here, because these assets can be super, super volatile. And if you're just having one TP and a stop loss, you're very likely to get wrecked here. And then you've obviously got all the greed factors and all of that horrible emotional journeys that you go through while you're in massive positions like this. So it's very, very advised here. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's very advised to stop loss to entry at any point that you can do that here. And over in the Telegram, the community, I see them executing this literally every single day, and they're making a lot of money. It's good to see, man. It's good to see. But yeah, let's check the chat, and then we're going to be doing VAR here. Pretty sure I got that on the watch list, man. Do I? No, I don't. Not today. Not today. VRA, not VAR. What am I talking about? What you talking about, man? Yeah, if you're new to the stream, guys, we're streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every single week here. This chart is terrible. What has happened? The market structure is just... Has it set new lows here? Yeah, it has. Oh, that's not good. This is super, super low cap now, I think. Yeah, this is super, super low cap. I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, this... I'm actually not going to do a video on this. Like, I'm not going to record it. I will, I'll break this down for you. I'm not sure who it was who said it. FOMO Sapien, maybe? Yeah, FOMO Sapien, yeah. So I will break this down for you, but I'm not going to do a video on it because, yeah, it's... I heard it was a bit of a scam in the end. I'm a bit rusty on my information here, but the chart is speaking for itself here. It's broke structure. It's broke lows here. Yeah, it's really, really not good here. Was it a GameFi project? There was something about it that was good and really, really strong, and a lot of people were investing into this. I think this is down like below, like south of 100 mil market cap now, if my memory serves. Yeah, it's not great. The last time I checked it was maybe 200 mil, something like that. But yeah, I think the devs sort of might have abandoned this project. I need to do some more research on it, but yeah, the chart doesn't look great. Oh yeah, looking bad. Yeah, not great. Hey ho, it is what it is. We've got Kimiko says, "Can you check Injective?" Yeah, I'll do an update on Injective. That sounds good. Little update on Injective. Oh, it's a much better chart. This actually could be quite a nice video here. I will actually start on the weekly, and I'm gonna have some tea before we do that. That tea is good. That is good. Right, let's break this down. I'm here today to give you an update on Injective Protocol. Okay, this is a highly anticipated asset that has got extremely high potential here coming into this next run. Okay, coming to this next juicy bull market. Obviously, we've been around since October 2021 here, and it did see lows quite aggressively to the downside here, setting that bear market low at around $1 here. Currently trading at a price of around $20. Let's break this down from a market structure standpoint and see where we can be looking at potential price predictions and also potential buying areas for this asset as well. So talking market structure. Okay, so talking market structure to kick us off here, you can see we've got higher lows measured in for this lovely uptrend coming through. Okay, now you can see the higher lows are $1.1, $2.4, $5.3, $14.1, and $27.2. Now the $27.2 has unfortunately been beaten up. It's been against the ropes in the ring here, and it's unfortunately been wrecked. Okay, so not great there from that standpoint regarding the higher low, regarding the bullish market structure here for this asset, but it is what it is right now. Obviously, crypto is bearish. What does this mean for this asset? Okay, what we can be looking at for a reference point here is potentially a micro downtrend. Okay, the micro downtrend in question right now is going to be obviously this as a low, okay, this as a low point. So what did it tell us? It tells us that there is potential for a lower high. The lower high in question is here, obviously still not confirmed, okay, still not confirmed. It will be confirmed when we break this low, and that is the first instance that we have seen for this this bearish market structure right now, okay? So essentially, don't be too worried unless we break this, okay? And it's obviously we're tickling along that area, and if Bitcoin is gonna keep descending down, then it's very likely that we do set a lower high, and that will be confirmation for basically Injective to see some lower prices, unfortunately. Okay, and the fact that we have invalidated this higher low here from this market structure, from this bullish market structure, is bearish, unfortunately, and not looking too hot from that point. But there's a few things we could be doing here. We could be drawing in some trend lines, potentially bull flag scenarios being created. I mean, yeah, it's probably not going to be too hot over the next few months or so. And now that we have not completely confirmed that this micro downtrend is essentially valid, it will be valid when we break this low and secure this as a confirmed lower high. When that does happen, then we can potentially look at continuation, something probably along the lines of that, right? When that does happen, there is going to be lovely, lovely short positions that we can be capitalizing on as well, and potentially long positions off high-low market structures from previous macro uptrends, right? So overall, looking fairly bearish here for Injective, but this is just purely on the basis that Bitcoin is pulling back right now. We're probably coming into a bit of a bearish summer before we have alt season really start to take off. Now, with that being said, okay, with that being said, we then need to essentially reference the breakout scenario for this potential trend. And the way that we do that, guys, right now, it's a little bit choppy here because we haven't had the confirmed lower high, but just for educational standpoints, we would take a Fibonacci from the high to the low, and currently obviously the low is set here. When we break this low here, guys, this will be set a little bit lower. For example, let's do it to the market structure, higher low point that is just located over here. We will then be using, let me get rid of the other Fibonacci because it's a bit colluded here. Yeah, we will then be using the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, which is this lovely, lovely bad boy here, because essentially when we break that in the reverse direction of the current trend, which is obviously currently micro downtrend, nearly confirmed there, then that essentially means that we're going to see a reversal of the trend. That's the confirmation. If that is in confluence with a breakout scenario, say for this trend line, testing lower highs here, it's going to be super, super bullish from that point, and that's the area that we can be looking for. Just, obviously, this is purely speculatively speaking right now, because we haven't got an exact low of this trend that we're working with, and we haven't seen any sort of bullish momentum, but just from an educational standpoint, the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement area, if we break that, it is essentially confirmation of the reversal of the trend. Okay, so that's what we will be looking at in the future. But for the short term, for now, we're likely to see. Let's get that other Fibonacci back. Yeah, we're likely to see more downside, is what I would say here. Likely to see more downside, unfortunately. So yeah, strap in, strap on. Get ready for it. It's obviously lovely short positions that we can be looking out for as well. But first, I would probably, let's talk about short position. Okay, let's talk about it. So what I would do here, I'd wait for the confirmation of this low to break that, and then it's likely that we probably come down to, I probably wouldn't say this higher low all the way down here, because that is a steady, pretty hefty pullback of near enough 30% there, and just off the bat for Injective being a layer one super bullish project overall, I wouldn't expect a 30% pullback unless Bitcoin does really take a massive tumble all the way down to 56, then yeah, Injective is likely to take a big hit as well. But what I would be looking for here to capitalize on this downtrend essentially is going to be the pullback zone. Okay, so once we've seen that low get created, we will see a move to the upside. Only naturally, as you can see here, guys, move to the upside after setting that low, and this is the market structure to form lower highs. So when this happens and we see sort of a lower high testing, say Fibonacci areas, 0.236, testing very strong levels of resistance and support here, then this is basically going to be a short position that we can be getting involved with there. So yeah, that's what I would say about Injective. Let me know what you think in the comment section of the update of the TA, what you think is going to happen. And if you like it, guys, slap a little like on it as well. But yeah, that is going to be it for your Injective update today. Peace. Good stuff. Yeah, so that's what I'd say about Injective right now. Overall, Injective is a super bullish project. You're seeing quite a lot of things being built on the back end. One thing that my only qualm, my only gripe with Injective protocol right now is you've obviously got Etherscan for Ethereum to do some blockchain digging into wallets and stuff like that. Solana, you've got SolScan. Injective is like it's a maze trying to navigate that. It's really, really not good from an information standpoint. You're having to look through like all the code of the blockchain transactions just to find out how much has been transferred. It's in my opinion, it's a mess. It does need to be built in a user-friendly way with a nice UI. But right now, yeah, it's got a little bit of work to do. But overall, Injective has got a lot of traction, and it has been a super bullish recently. So I wouldn't rule it out. I would still be looking for a DCA scenario throughout this potential pullback here. And yeah, definitely not one to rule out of the portfolio, in my opinion, for the next run. I think it's got some big legs there. Let's do one more altcoin, and then we will break down some shitcoins together. Yes, let's get it. Safi says, Chester likes to strap on. Interesting. No, I don't. Can you check Injective? Says Kimmy. Good morning, family. Says Abhijit. Nice to see you on the stream, Abhijit. It's been a little while. But yeah, we're back. We're out here. I'm going to be looking at what coin's next. Flux is looking interesting. Take a little look at Flux, shall we? Definitely don't have that on my watch list. Is it Flux or Philux? I'm going to go with it's a typo, Mr. Miles, and it's Flux. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong. And if you're watching cross-platform, Mr. Miles is on YouTube, and that's who I'm talking to. FYI, if you look at the chat, like, what's this guy talking about, man? Right, let's talk Flux Binance. Hopefully it's the right asset here. Chart doesn't look great. I won't lie. We are on the weekly, right? So, yeah, Flux, yeah. Yeah, we are on the weekly, so, not too bad here. But, yeah, the daily has not been too bad. Obviously, we've seen a nice uptrend coming through to March, and then retracements coming through to June. Okay, so let's break this down. Okay, let's break this down, market structure, and let's see what we can actually conjure up here. 4 points, and we're going to do this like a completely fresh chart, guys. So if you are new to breaking down charts and trying to build a nice setup for yourselves, this is the time for you, okay? We're going to break this down together. So the first thing we're going to be starting off with Flux is going to be, I'm actually going to do, who's this guy talking to? Who's your daddy? Oh yeah, basically over on Kick, I'm streaming across platform, right? So I'm talking to the people on YouTube, okay? So yeah, but yeah, let's break this down. I'm here today to give you an update on Flux. We're going to be starting off with building this out with market structure. So the first thing we're going to be doing from a technical analysis standpoint is plotting in this obviously bullish market structure that has consisted from this bear market low down at around 30 cents up to around $1.78. So let's break this down together and see what we can conjure up. So we're going to be starting off on the daily time frame, and the reason why we're going back in history to do this here is because we need to basically look at very, very key levels to be using as a point of reference here for the live price action, the live PA here. So let's put in a new. This is going to be obviously be the bear market low, which we will leave in red. You can see significant pullback coming through. Did we break that high? Near enough break that high. Did we break the high? Not quite. I mean, it's enough for me. It's enough for me. I'm happy with that. And again, guys, this is it's your own bias here of how you want to do market structure sometimes here. So significant pullbacks are your own bias. So we're going to be changing that to yellow, and that is going to be the higher low reference point for us to be looking out for there. You can see coming up, breaking this high again, significant pullback coming down, and then breaking that high to confirm this as a higher low. So this would be the next higher low market structure point. And you can see here, coming up, breaking highs again, significant pullbacks here, new highs. I mean, the pullback's not that great, not that strong here. This would be a pullback that I would be using as a reference point. And you can see from there, we actually didn't break the high for a little while. So this was just a simple market structure test point here that we can be using for reference. Now, after that, you can see breaking highs here. Really, really, really strong stuff. Massive pullback to the downside. This consisted of, not small, 20% there. That's enough for me to be putting in a new higher low here. So that's going to be a higher low market structure point. Again, massive pullback coming through from here. This would be a higher low market structure point as well. And from there, it's just been a bit choppy, guys. We've just seen a lot of upwards momentum. There's really not been any significant pullbacks from that point. So that is market structure done. These are the higher lows for this uptrend here. And essentially what this means is when we break in higher lows, essentially it means that we're having that reversal of the trend, okay? So what are we looking for now? I mean, one thing that I would like to do is a bit of Fibonacci here from the swing, bear market swing low to the all-time high, not the all-time high, but the bull market high. And you can see, very good example of what we were talking about earlier, guys. It's actually crossed the 0.5 Fibonacci level, and that essentially means that the reversal of the trend is now confirmed. Okay, so let's draw this in from a downtrend perspective and get some predictions going. So you can see this is obviously the high. You can come down, setting this low. This would be the lower high point, confirmed because we broke this low here. Okay, so there would be one significant lower high at this point in time. I'll be marking that in orange. Yeah, marking that in orange. And that is going to be the lower high there. And you can see, obviously, this is the lower low. We haven't actually seen a significant pullback from this low being set just yet. Maybe we're seeing it now. Nothing too crazy. But the next point I would really be looking out for there is a bit more bullish momentum. New lower high to potentially be set there. When the lower high is sort of forming here, we would like to be potentially either shorting this asset down to the most recent low, and once we hit that most recent low, we will get a confirmation of a lower high there. So yeah, overall, it is looking like we are going to see bearish momentum for this asset playing out here. So please be aware. Let's get some trend lines in, and let's see if there's any points of reference or confluence that we can be using, and then we can be looking at the the quantum insight for a quantum insight. Okay, so yeah, that could be a trend line there. Still valid. You can see resistance coming down, but I would be more inclined to probably do something along the lines of that instead, and that would give us sort of a falling wedge. Again, guys, with trend lines, the more touches, the better. Yeah, the more touches, the better. So that's definitely a confluence point for us to be looking out for there for the future. You can see this is a falling pizza slice. It's a falling wedge to the downside. These tend to actually usually break to the upside, which is an interesting factor that we can be using in the future here when we do see this asset actually reverse, okay? Don't think it's going to do something like that, I would say, because we are quite fresh into this bearish market structure for Flux. I probably would expect a bit more bullish momentum to the upside, testing this as a level of resistance here, and then seeing that dirty, disgusting dump to the downside. But let's talk about a short position from this area, because if you actually look back in history, guys, this area, when we were in this uptrend, is actually a really strong confluence point. We bring in a nice little horizontal here. You can see resistance, resistance. And this is not small moves, okay? Just simply 15% there. You can see 26% there. So these moves are pretty strong for Flux to the downside. And why are we using this as a reference point right now? Because what do you know? Where does it line up with? It lines up directly with that trend line coming down from that falling wedge from this lovely move here. So essentially, the stars are aligning for a lovely short position. Trend is your friend. We're going to be going with the downtrend here, waiting for this pullback, waiting for that resistance here, and it's looking pretty strong. Let's get some MAs, because we're going to do MAs now, and then we're going to do volume weighted ATR bands, because I want to see how these things are all lining up with each other here. Let's get some MAs together. That'll be the one. Okay, so we've got the 7 SMA coming down, which we have tested here. Okay, interesting stuff. That's usually a really strong area for a move to the downside when we are seeing a downtrend. If you guys haven't seen my 7 SMA strategy, it's basically when you see a massive move, like a massive move to the downside or the upside, the retest of the 7 SMA is usually worth around 1% or so. Like it's got a super high success rate here. For example, massive move to the downside, retest of the 7 SMA, bang. I mean, it's clearly worth more than 1% there. It's like 7, 8, 9% there. But it's really, really, really strong, okay? For example, massive move to the upside here, testing that 7 SMA again, another move to the upside, super, super clean. So yeah, it's a great little strategy to keep in your back pocket if you are looking to, this works multi time frame as well, guys. If you want to scalp 1 hour charts, 15-minute charts, the 7 SMA is a really, really good little tool. I don't know why it works really well for crypto, but it does. But yeah, 7 SMA. If we can get above that, then bullish momentum to the upside coming to this test point for Flux is sort of the idea. Now, with the 21 EMA coming down, this would be sort of what I'm looking for that entry point. The resistance point off the 21 EMA coming down as that confluence is super, super likely. So that is, the stars have aligned for us there as well. Let's bring up some volume-weighted ATR bands here. It's volume-weighted average true range, if you guys didn't know what that is. And yeah, they're a little bit small for our liking, so we're going to have to change some settings quickly on them. Yeah, we want the sort of the macro time frames here. 12-hour, the 4-hour, the daily. Get the 3-day in there as well if we can. These are really, really good points of reference. It might take a second to load that in. Interesting stuff. So we're actually bouncing cleanly off the 12-hour and the daily for support, which is super, super strong when this happens, guys. If we actually go back to, I'm probably not going to get the history here on this chart, but on Bitcoin, it's God mode bouncing off the daily. Okay, when we're seeing a reversal of the trend there. But what can we see here? We can see the 4-hour is actually in a digressionary stance. So this is sort of what's holding us back right now. Now, this is very interesting stuff because with our target of a price of around here for a short position, we should ideally have the 4-hour a little bit higher here, okay? So what is probably likely to happen here is we're probably going to grind away here for a while with this 4-hour. Remember, on the daily time frame here, guys. We're on the daily time frame. So this 4-hour is very reactive. It reacts to the 4-hour candles here. So if we do see bullish momentum continue for the next sort of 1-2 days here, and it's continuous on the 4-hour chart here, then it's very likely we see a nice big spike in the 4-hour for bullish momentum. Now, if that does happen, which is quite likely here, we will see the 4-hour line up pretty nicely with our area again. So that is a very nice point for us to be looking out for there for Flux. We said VRA there. But yeah, for Flux, looking pretty strong there. Let's look at the Quantum Insight. Stars are aligning there for that lovely short. Quantum Insight's actually looking good for a long right now. You can see momentum is super, super overextended to the downside here. If you're new to trading, guys, it's a sort of relative strength index. It's not relative strength index, but because it's momentum based. But using it as an example, oversold on the relative strength index is sort of the same as momentum to the downside. So for example, you can see really strong momentum to the downside, really, really low here. You can see this is probably a nice bullish move to the upside. You can see, quite nice. You see that bullish momentum retraces after seeing such a big move to the downside here. And we can flash back in history and see, again, momentum to the downside here, super, super low. What do you know? We see a nice move to the upside yet again. And it's this line on the bottom side here is what we're using as that point of reference for that reversal. And in terms of the live price right now, that's super low. We've got stochastic really, really low as well. We've had the bullish crossover, so it's looking like we are going to see some really, really, really strong momentum to the upside here. Now, with that being said, the momentum to the upside will potentially bring us to that short point that we're using as that reference point. Okay, guys? So yeah, overall, Flux looking pretty good. Let me know what you think of this potential position in the comment section. And if you like the content, obviously smash a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, guys, hit the subscribe button. We're streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon UTC +7, wherever you're watching in the world. That's going to be it from me. Thank you ever so much. Peace. Stream's not over, just recording a video for YouTube. So yeah, that's going to be Flux. It's looking pretty good overall. Quite impressed with Flux and the way it's looking. I would be slightly worried here. The only reason is for what we have seen on the Quantum Insight, the fact that this looks so bullish right now, it's sort of an indication that this move around 8-9% isn't going to cut it. Okay, it's not going to cut it. We're likely to probably see a little bit more than that, maybe 20%, maybe even up to the 200 EMA there, which would consist of around a 26% move. Okay, so it's going to be one to really watch there and be vigilant of, because we don't want to get into this, over leverage ourselves, for example, and not mitigate and manage our risk, and essentially get wrecked. Okay, we don't want to do that. So yeah, definitely something to really be looking out for there. But yeah, that is going to be the altcoin assessment. Yeah, that's going to be the altcoin assessment. Let's jump down to the next part of the show, which is going to be Shitcoin Showdown. And this is where we look at some low cap altcoins together, okay? We got some funny dancing things on the chart, right? And Shitcoin Showdown, let's jump over to Dex Screener. Okay, good stuff. So you can see, guys, this is a super low cap coin. It's on the minute chart then. It's called NCAT. NCAT, obviously, pretty horrific chart. And there's a few things that we look out for here when trading these shit coins, guys. I'm just going to read the list. I'm not going to go into too much detail now on the list. But if you are trading these coins, if you're new to trading these coins, the returns can be ridiculously big. I'm talking 10, 20, 30, even 100x on your investment sometimes. But there's a lot of scams, there's a lot of rugs. You need to be very, very vigilant. And that's why I've created this checklist for a reference point to guide us safely through this space. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we're looking for is a bullish chart / strong floor. And that basically means price coming down, testing that area for a significant amount of time. And obviously a bullish chart. I know these projects are fairly new, so it's quite hard to find a bullish chart. But you don't want to be investing in, I mean, you don't want to invest in that because it's too bullish. But you want a gradual, nice uptrend from launch, okay? So 10 hours old, this project is an example of pretty rough chart. Yeah, you don't want to be investing in something like this, guys. You can see this is clearly like the dev selling off, launch the project, massive buy comes in, the dev will just sell his supply, cash in the checks, and move on to the next project, okay? So we are looking for a nice bullish chart to start us off. And the next thing on the checklist, this isn't too bad, okay? It's not too bad. You see a nice floor around here, around 135, market cap around $3 million. The next thing we want to be looking out for here is essentially active devs. Yeah, nice chart coming through. So you see the highs are getting broken. You're seeing lower highs get set. Nice floor there. It's looking pretty good overall. So yeah, the next thing to be looking out for there is active devs. So you need to go to the Telegram, see the chat, and try and talk to some devs in there. Because if the dev's not active and they're not replying to anyone, then it's likely they're farming projects and you're likely to not get anywhere with it, right? Dancing memes, I love it. Yeah, envious at the same time. Yeah, I actually had it must have been like 20 or 30 of them just on the screen when I was building it out, right? I had like 20 or 30 of them on the screen, and they're all dancing and stuff. And like me and my brother Hamilton, who's another YouTuber, Hamilton of Crypto, I think his name is, or Hamilton Gilpin Crypto. Yeah, we were actually talking about. It was very intrusive. Like it was too much going on, so we actually had to get rid of them. A lot of them, but yeah, we still got a few funny ones on there. Anyway, this checklist: active devs, content strategy, visible marketing budget. So they're paying for call groups, they're paying for ads. They've actually got budget behind the project because they're committed to the project. Team sell-offs are at a minimum. So you can see here, guys, this is a nice chart. It's very unlikely that the dev is selling off massive chunks of it. And if it is they're using marketing to buy it back up. So it's strong. And that's why we use a bullish chart as a point of reference as well. High liquidity. Okay, so liquidity, basically here, it needs to be locked. Okay, so you need to see this green. And also it needs to be quite high. This isn't that great because at a $3 million market cap with liquidity only at 177K, it basically means the price fluctuations can be quite severe with this coin. I like to use a 10% liquidity figure as sort of a rule of thumb here. So 3 mil market cap, 300K liquidity. It's likely that the asset isn't going to play around too much. I mean, 177 is not too bad, but you don't want to be investing in a coin that's got like 50K liquidity at a 3 mil market cap. The price fluctuations are just crazy, crazy, crazy. for an analogy for how the liquidity actually affects the price, how can I describe this? So if you've got like a swimming pool, if you drop something into a swimming pool, so like a giant rock, you drop it into a swimming pool, and you have the ripples, right? The ripples will go around the swimming pool, and that's basically an example of low liquidity. If someone was to buy this asset with a massive, like say $20,000 here, you're going to see the chart go crazy, right? Because it's like chucking a rock in a swimming pool. Whereas if you chuck a rock in the sea, the ripples are not going to be that big because it's a big body of water, right? So the higher liquidity, the less ripples it will have on the chart, if that made any sense at all. Hopefully I explained that right. And the next point on the list is trending on Dex Screener, and also trending on Solana, trending Telegram group as well, guys. Very, very essential for this space. You need to be trending on multiple places, right? That. And also the amount of effort that's been spent on the project as well. If it's a poor effort, so we can jump to the website of this. It's not going to look very good on the short term. This is terrible. Right? You can see it's really not that great. Not a lot of effort's been spent on this website. I could probably whip this website up in 20 minutes. So yeah, not that great. Probably wouldn't get involved with this project. Okay. So yeah, a couple of checkpoints you need to be looking out for there if you do want to trade this. These sorts of projects here. But yeah, that is what I would look for there. And we will be doing calls for projects and stuff like that later on in history, but right now just trying to work on getting everything sort of set up here. So we're sort of looking for a bullish chart. I mean, 193 mil market cap there for Landwolf. Yeah, I saw this actually take off. It's a great example here for a really bullish project, guys. Let's jump to the 4-hour chart here. Yeah, you can see this is exactly what you're sort of looking for here. When the project begins, you see a nice floor is formed. You can see the levels of these are buying levels that continuously get bought up every time they're tested. It's a very basic TA here. And after that, it's just all-time high after all-time high. And then nice little pullbacks here. Nice little pullbacks. And then from there, it's obviously just exploding. So what I would say about this, probably what has happened is they've started to, they probably sold off some of their supply here. Nothing too crazy, but enough to fund a nice big marketing push. And then they have funded a nice big marketing push from that zone. So yeah, and that's obviously what's caused this massive move to the upside. But the reason why we get involved with projects like this, guys, is because if you can get this at like a 3 mil market cap, it's like 190 mil market cap now, right? So it's big X's on your investment, right? 10, 20, 30X. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, that is going to be it for the Shitcoin Showdown today. We did actually review Billy on the first stream here, and we saw that at 1.5 mil market cap, and it was ticking all the boxes there. And you can see from there, it's super clean. This is a contender to whiff, guys. Only at 50 mil market cap. Obviously, whiff is $2 billion, if I'm correct. And you can see this is probably the perfect area to sort of get into an asset like this. Super bullish. It's got longevity. It's been around for a while now. We've had pullbacks. It's quite established in the space to still be at 54 mil market cap there. So yeah, definitely Billy is one to watch here, in my opinion. There could just be an easy move to all-time highs here. And you can see all-time high from this area. Still, it's a 63% move, guys. So yeah, super bullish on that point. For a point of reference there, chart still looks bullish. Market structure is really good. So yeah, overall, pretty confident there with Billy. But yeah, that is gonna be it for Shitcoin Showdown. Let's move on to trading tip of the day today. Okay. Now, trading tip of the day. Just gonna have some more tea because my throat is a bit tickly. Yeah, I've been streaming for an hour and 11 minutes. I'm trying to get it under an hour so I don't like break my voice, but because I'm very fast paced, like, yeah, so trying to get it under an hour, so that's what we can sort of expect in the future. Just jump to the chat quickly. We've got dancing memes. I love it. Yeah, envious at the same time. We've got Cyberdog CBS on Solana. I bought some of this shitcoin. I am kind of surprised that it's so low because there's actually a web-based game title. Interesting stuff, Cyberdogs. I think I heard of Cyberdogs, Peter, actually. Interesting. Road Dog Crypto. Hey, you, says Mr. Miles. Speaking of low market cap plays, do you plan to pick up any of this meme coins minted on CAS? Get in at the ground floor. I actually haven't looked into those meme coins personally, but I mean, I love buying meme coins at low market caps that are safe. If it ticks all those boxes, man, I'm in. I'm in, bro. But yeah, let's talk know your risk tolerance, okay? So, trading tip of the day today, know your risk tolerance. Understand how much risk you can afford to take and how much you can afford to lose. There's no point putting $10,000 into an account and essentially putting $10,000 into one trade. You need to be splitting up your portfolio. So the rule of thumb that we use here for trading safely, whether you're trading meme coins, whether you're trading just general altcoins, whether you're trading Bitcoin, you need to be using per trade a maximum of 5% of your account balance. Okay, otherwise you enter into this sort of chasing losses. Your account balance is fluctuating like crazy. It just becomes gambling. You will lose in trading if you look at it as gambling. It's intelligent gambling because the more data you have, the better you can be at it. Because the more data you have, the higher chance of the trade being successful. But you need to remove the emotional aspect here for overexposing yourself here by risking too much in your portfolio. So know your risk tolerance, get that sort of into sort of a rule of thumb here. Only max 5% of your account here. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be the trading tip of the day for you to take away, and hopefully it does help you there. But yeah, moving on to TA Q&A. Cheers. Just jump over to Bitcoin. Right, I think I've done that wrong. TA Q&A. Any questions about TA? I will answer them in the chat. And yeah, we're seeing a nice move for Bitcoin to come up to the upside. And if we don't get any questions, it's absolutely fine, guys. It's cool. We will just end the stream. Like, as I said, it's an hour and 15 minutes here. Poured tea down myself. Good job, bro. Consider this. CAS has a die-hard community supporting it. That enthusiasm is bound to bleed into their memes. You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. And the same thing sort of happened with Injective as well, and AVAX. Bit of avalanche there. We did see... Bit my tongue. We did see a few coins launch on those platforms, and sorry, on those chains. And we did see like explosion in terms of volume here. I think one that's just happened recently is Arbitrum, you know, ARB. And yeah, essentially there's a meme coin that released on there, straight to like 700 mil market cap. Crazy stuff there. So yeah, interesting stuff. And I'm sure CAS will be the same as like a first meme project coming out there. But yeah, no questions about TA. All good stuff. I mean, we've never had questions about TA, so maybe I'll cut this part of the show. That's how we'll get it down to 1 hour. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And we will be back. What day are we? We're Friday. Oh, damn it. Okay, we're Friday. We'll be back Monday. Have a great weekend. I wish you all well wherever you're watching from, or wherever you are in the world. And if you want to join the communities, you want to join the Patreon, you want to commit to trading and do all that good stuff, you can. All the links are in the description. Go check all that good stuff out. And we do have a Discord channel as well with loads of cool information. And it's actually, is it giveaway day? Yeah, it's giveaway day today. Damn. Okay. I haven't built that yet. Apologies. I was meant to build this spinning wheel. Wait, we spin it, and yeah, we'll get into that next week, hopefully. Safi says, trading tip of the day, don't draw random trend lines on your chart. Yeah, okay, I wouldn't be following that advice, but yeah, trend lines are great, man. You're better off, the best way to do trend lines is essentially breaking down the macro to the micro, and then drawing trend lines on every single time frame, and then finding that confluence point that is, so I'm getting a call right now, a confluence point that is a reference that basically measures up across all the time frames, and then using that as one data point, not the only data point, just to be strict with that, right? Yeah. Thank you for the trading tip of the day. Nice to see it on the stream, bro. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Peace out, and I'll see